contactless payment is still very low here in the US versus Europe.
Versus, say, the UK, where it's enormously popular. Contactless payments represents a very tiny percentage, a single-digit percentage of transactions here in the US. We're familiar with contactless using our phones to pay, where we can tap to pay in the U.S. You can actually do that at more than 70% of retail locations in the U.S. today. But U.S. consumers are not accustomed to using the cards to tap to pay the way we are outside the U.S. In the U.K. and Australia, where close to 80% of transactions are contactless.
And this holiday season, is the data showing that it's growing here in the U.S. fast, or not really? Are people kind of quite reluctant to change?
It is. Now that we've changed the infrastructure at the U.S. point of sale, as you know, to chip readers, those chip readers also have the contactless capability, but most retailers haven't seen a lot of demand from consumers. We're looking at mobile payments like Apple Pay and Google Pay and Samsung Pay as driving some of that demand. But in 2019, as you alluded to, card issuers in this country are going to start issuing contactless cards. These are cards that have that chip in them, but also an antenna so you can tap to pay.
And as for who this benefits, as we see this transition, I mean, the payments are still going through credit cards, even if you're doing it, in fact, on your Samsung Pay or Apple Pay as well. So it's not really a big threat, as we thought it could be a couple of years ago, to the traditional payment companies, whether it's banks or credit card companies.
That's exactly right. In fact, it's an enhancement to the existing service providers. It's a real threat to, frankly, cash. Contactless payments, because they're quick and easy for consumers to use. We expect in 2019 that to replace about $200 billion worth of small ticket cash items, where you'd go into your coffee shop or a quick service restaurant, for example. Traditionally, for those low dollar items, you'd use cash, which is hard for the restaurants because it takes people a lot of time. They want to move the line fast. That's where contactless comes in. So it's a displacement for cash, really.
When we say contactless has a very small penetration compared to other parts in the world, is that a fair apples to apples comparison? I mean, is every retailer equipped with the equipment to accept contactless payments? And if they're not, how much more of an upgrade needs to exist, and who makes that device?
Yeah. So about 70% of retailers in the U.S. have the contactless enabled today. 70 out of the top 100 retailers have it. So you can go to CVS, Walgreens, a lot of large retailers to do that today. Most quick service restaurants have implemented it. Some large retailers have not implemented it yet, again, because of the demand. They actually have the system installed. If you've upgraded to a chip reader as a retailer,
it's automatically contactless.
It's automatically in there. Now the question is the retailer turning it on or not? And that's a
Who makes those? Question. Who makes that?
So the largest manufacturers of devices for POS in the U.S. are two companies, Verifone and Ingenico. There are also competitors out there as well, like Clover, owned by First Data.
Are there different companies that do this in Europe? Because Joe's going to think I'm being pro-European here, but the machines are so much better there. Your card is on and off in like a second. Here, it doesn't work as smoothly, I find.
Really, yeah, we've done some software upgrades here in the U.S. to make things move a little bit more quickly.
But are they the same companies manufacturing it?
They are. Ingenico is the largest in the market in Europe. Verifone is the largest in the market here in the U.S.